It was 2022 and I used to draw like this. But then back to 2022. Well, what else happened in 2022? That big thing that took over the whole world. Webtoon call for action contest. That day I felt something in my blood pumper for the first time. My absolute passion and desire for money. Either way, I wanted to contribute my own platter of shirtless men touching each other to the organization called Webtoon. But I was mildly bad at coloring, took my time with drawing. Can't draw XY chromosome and what is anatomy? It was useless. The submission was in 2 months and I had skill issue. But I didn't want to quit before even starting. Just like a true mangaka, I wanted to start and then quit. So there, I started a medical plan after drawing 100 poses a day.
Oh, who are you?
I'm Amanda. I'm 6.
So I started at 10 a.m. and it was 5 a.m. the next day when I put my pen down. At this point, I started thinking, was me serving solo leveling the reformed version really important? But I held out and I kept drawing 100 poses every single day for 10 days. Then I dropped the number I meant to 70, then to 60, to 10. Yeah. By the time it reached 10 poses a day, I simultaneously started doing character design. Yeah, I was not good at that either. But I kept drawing for a month. Until the next month, all I had to do was to draw line. I give up. Fast forward, I didn't win. My comic lacked dialogue. The story never showed up. The fight scene was average at best. But I managed to draw a man, but he was serving uncanny.
Balloony.
Only good thing that came out of this shithole is learning what I couldn't do for years. Poses. But let's just say I never ever draw anatomy ever again. But here's what I learned after drawing 100 poses a day. First of all, stop learning stupid ass shit like muscle name. What is the purpose of that information? They know this part is called and nobody cares, so shut it. First thing you need to learn is anatomy. Okay, don't run away. It's not that bad. It's just few lines. Anatomy and main points of body movements. That's all you need to know to draw poses. Anatomy is like math. If you don't understand it, just memorize it. And you need to memorize 2 things to invade anatomy. Shape of the body and proportions. Like how big is that head? Let's quickly go over how I at least remember the shape of the bodies. First, we have the head. The face itself is longer than its other half. It's like that young but taller, old but short sibling combo. Shaped like a whistle. Then we have the neck. For the sake of lungs, make it thick. Let them breathe. You all either draw like it's on life support or out here snatching wigs. The neck attaches itself to the back of the head. Knowing this placement is really important, especially if you're gonna draw in Never mind, you can draw basic shit. Why bother with perspective? Men's neck can usually be drawn from the jaw. For a female, you can go a little slimmer, but let her breathe. Then we have the mountain coming out of that neck. If your character skips meal, the mountain will have a dent. The mountain clings onto the neck, just like how you cling onto the hope of getting a job. Close the mountain, that's the shoulder bone. Listen, I know some of you like to draw shiny balls as shoulders, but don't fuck with that. It's so confusing. It has no direction. What am I supposed to do with it? Kick it? If you look at the shoulder, it's like a big bug sitting on a tree. The tree being the upper arm. That is complex too, so I just draw them like one unit. The chest to hip itself is a hourglass shape, but thick, unless you're drawing a Chinese influencer. Or you could see it as two boxes and a spring attachment connecting the both. Drawing it like this is better when posing. More on this later. Put that V down to part the legs. Thighs are the easiest one. It can be just two lines or shaped like a bike's side view mirror. Two lines for the knees. Legs are just elongated diamonds. Well, the diamonds are hidden at the back. The front is flat, but they peek out. If we dismember the leg, it would be shaped like this. Probably. I don't know. So remember the shape. Then comes the feet. It's shaped like the slide from the playground you got bullied on. You got the stairs, the slab from where you got pushed, the slide. This is the shape you need to remember.
What the dog doing?
The arms are built just like the legs, but backwards. We got the bike's side view mirror, the elongated diamonds. The knees go on the back side of the arm. Super easy. You need to observe the body like that guy from My Hero Academia. And that's how you break down and memorize the shape. At least that's how I do it. Let's put whatever we learned right now to practice and let's draw a pose together. But I know even after knowing the shapes, you guys will end up drawing something like this.
Okay, listen here, bitch. I'm sick of it.
That's why knowing proportions of the body is important. All you need to do is measure it by 1.5 from the shoulder up your ass. That's the most lame-ass way of measuring. It just gets more confusing when drawing in poses. That's why I use one body part to measure another. So let's go. We have the head. The neck is just very different for everybody, but I don't think it will be any longer than the head itself, unless you're drawing a Chinese influencer.
Treat me like wHAT.
Draw the main body. There is no measurement for that. Just use your eyes, man. The thighs will be of the same length as the chest to hip, unless you're drawing a Chinese influencer. Quick tip, since the chest to hip is of the same length as the thighs, you can draw a half circle from the chest to locate the end of the thighs. It's especially useful when drawing sitting poses, so to draw it out. Back to proportions. The legs are of same to smaller in length compared to the thighs. Not so quick tip, since the legs are of same length as the thighs, we can once again use a half circle to locate the end of the legs. The upper arm ends at the waist. The lower arm goes a little below the hip, almost ending exactly at the V. The upper arm and lower arm are almost of the same length. I will draw a pose to show you guys how you can use these proportions practically. The head, the neck, we got the mountains. Box number 1, box number 2. From the chest, I will draw a curve to locate the end of the thighs. Now, using the right thigh, we can locate the left thighs. Since the thighs and legs are almost the same length, I will draw a curve from the thighs to locate the end of the leg. Then comes the feet. We know that the upper arm ends at the waist, the lower arm ends at the V. Same goes for the other arm. And that's how you use one part to measure the another.
Okay.
Last thing that is really important when drawing poses is knowing the main points of movement, like the neck. The neck needs to move for the head to move, otherwise it's just beheading. Neck moves and the head follows it, okay? So let's keep that in mind when drawing. Listen, I think you all just don't know how the body works at this point. You all have the legs twisting and turning, but not the thighs. Is it dislocated? Your legs cannot twist and turn without the thighs. Legs can only go front and back on its own. So twist those damn thighs. Placement of the knee seals the deal. Because when you're drawing a turning thigh, it may not appear like you're actually twisting or turning them, visually speaking. That's why placement of the knee in the direction of the turn seals the deal. Next is a spring attachment to the box. I call it spring because it does work like one. Twist and turn, you can do all the shit. If I want the body to twist and stuff, I just draw the first box facing one way and the second box facing the other and add the spring. That's it. The other main point of movement is the shoulder. You move the arm, the shoulder moves first. If not, congratulations, you gotta dislocate a shoulder. Lot of time you'll draw shoulders like it's an unmovable stone. Your body, all of them work together, okay? The main body or the arm moves, the shoulder's gonna move too, okay? The wrist and feet have the independence to twist and turn on their own. The other body parts don't care about them. They are the middle child. And that's it. You can draw poses now, I think. Quick tip. Drawing a line indicating the overall action of the pose actually works. I don't know why I thought it wouldn't. Look at the difference drawing it makes. But I still chose to draw it without it because I'm lazy. Number 2, look at these boxes and spheres that artists tell you to practice. Do it. I didn't because it's boring, but it's basically the same shapes while drawing bodies, so it's useful to practice, I guess. Still doesn't take away the bore factor though. Lastly, it's not that hard. Why do you keep thinking it's hard? It's just a bunch of lines. It cannot harm you. If you think it's hard, it's always gonna be hard. I don't know how to draw hands, but I still did. Why? Because a bunch of lines ain't got no shit on me. I kept drawing until I can draw that bitch. So keep drawing. Bye bye.